Hintayin natin yung iba na makapasok ulit. Like si Jo Marie Fernan. Sino pa ang wala? Okay, Karen, number 2. Let's continue. Kindly read.
The contrasting structures of social behavior in different member states complicate the formulation of a normative standard that can be applicable to all.
The UN also formulate normative standard that could be applicable to all members. But because of different beliefs, like moral structures of social behavior of different member states, nagkakaroon na naman ng mga issues and challenges. Number 3, Jeremy.
In formulating proposition, problems occur when only the member states are heard. The UN belittles the helping hand of non-governmental organization, NGO, and the global public opinion. Sometimes recommendations are not
Okay, thank you. Now, sabi dito, the UN belittles the helping hand of non-governmental organizations. So, hindi sila ganun napapansin. And the global public opinion as well. Kasi meron tayong tinatawag na social council's veto. Yun yung mga 5 permanent member states ng UN. Yung 5 yon ay yung UK, US, China, France, and I forgot yung isa, Russia. So, yung 5 bansa na yon, yun yung mga permanent members ng Security Council's veto. Now, meron yung example dito na nagkaroon ng issues and problems, especially in formulating proposition. Kasi yung 5 members na yun, pwede silang mag-refuse ng mga proposition na galing sa iba't ibang mga bansa. Pwede nilang i-refuse, i-cancel yung nasabing batas, diba? Or yung ginagawang batas, I should say. Meron dati kasi, for example, yung UN resolution in December 2017 that required the US President Donald Trump to withdraw the recognition of Jerusalem as the capital city of Israel and was vetoed by US in the Security Council. Okay, kinancel or withdraw ng US kasi isa siya sa mga Security Council's veto. In effect, the resolution was not passed. Parang dito, hindi pinakinggan yung proposition ng ibang mga bansa. Kasi meron example yung Security Council's veto. Number 4. Kindly read this. Luneset.
Institutions can also be places where ideas are cornered and left behind. The modality and process for enforcing compliance with international norms and laws are not present. In fact, some UN staff members violate, cheat, and challenge them.
Dito rin, example din yung Security Council's veto. Kasi pwede silang mag-violate, mag-challenge, magpalit, mag-withdraw, mag-cheat. Kasi merong mga permanent members. And yung sinabi na places where ideas are cornered and left behind, may mga examples tayo like in economic, di ba? Kapag nag-usap sila sa General Assembly, meron at merong mga naiiwan. Kasi iba-iba nga yung progress ng ating mga bansa. May tanong ba kayo doon? May question kayo? yan, dito tayo. No more? Wala bang tanong?
Wala po.
Okay, so dito na tayo sa new lesson, the global divides. We have the global north and the global south. Historically, there had been divisions and labeling among different nations of the world. Diba? Meron yung mga integrated na ng mga bansa, industrialized, meron namang underdeveloped pa lang or developing countries pa lang. Countries that were colonized by the Spaniards in the southeast part of the America continent are collectively called Latin America. Latin America tawag sa kanila. By virtue of the Treaty of Tordesillas in 1494, the newly discovered land outside Europe were called or were divided into two. The West, belonging to the Portuguese Empire. There is also a split based on labor. The core, the semi-periphery, and the peripheries. Semi-periphery, ito yung mga medyo industrialized na. Mga peripheries, ito yung mga industrialized. Now, what do we mean by global south? Kasi ang globe kasi, nahati siya sa dalawa, global south and global north. Which before, ang tawag sa kanila ay first world, second world, and third world. Mamaya, ang papag-aralan natin yung mga first, second, and third world na yon. Now, what do we mean by global south? Global south is a metaphor for interstate inequality and product of, lipat ko lang picture, of Western imagination, according to Claudio 2014. From these divisions, the global south refers to the socio-economic and political divide primarily focused on the southern hemisphere of the 1569 designed Mercatorian map. It consists of Africa, Latin America, Asia, including the Middle East. These nation-states are deemed to be not aligned with nation-states located in the northern hemisphere that adhere to fair labor practices, rights, free trade, reduced tariffs, policies on sustainable development. The global south also connotes developing countries as opposed to rich, industrialized, and wealthy nations. Ito yung mga developing countries pala, mga mahihirap na bansa. And in fact, kasama tayo doon. Like tayo, Philippines, India, Indonesia, some part of Africa. Ayan yung tinatawag nating global south. Hindi pa siya industrializado. As stated by Claudio in 2014, the global south continues to be imagined and reimagined by those who dominate it even as movements from below reshape this construction through resistance. Example, tayo dito sa Pilipinas, may mga tinatawag tayong OFW or Overseas Filipino Workers. Yung mga Pilipino pumupunta sa ibang bansa, mga mayayamang mga bansa, to mention yung tinatawag nating Global North. Pumupunta sila doon para kumita ng malaki, para maiuwi dito sa Pilipinas. Di ba nga, pag umuwi sila nga dito, bumibili ng mga iba't ibang mga pasalubong, pagkain, di ba? Yung iba, nagiging 1 millionaire. Di ba? Hindi natin may iwasan yun. Mamaya may ipapasok natin yun. Bakit nila ginagawa yun? At anong connection nun dito sa tinatawag nating Global South and Global North? So, yun yung ibig sabihin ng Global South. Now, Global North naman tayo. Global North is the home of all members of the Group 8. Yung mga Group 8 na to, ito yung mga mayayamang mga bansa like Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, UK, Russia, and United States of America or USA. It is also the abode of the 4 powerful permanent members of United Nations Security Council. It also refers to the developed countries in Asia, Australia, and New Zealand. Ayun yung mga developed countries, mga industrialized countries. Now, nabanggit ko kanina yung mga OFW, di ba, pumupunta sa ibang bansa para kumita. Now, paano natin maipapasok yun dito? Pupunta sila sa Global North para pag uwi nila dito sa Pilipinas na Global South, maranasan nila yung Global North. Kasi pag sinabi natin Global North and Global South, it is not just for the boundaries, for the for a territory. Tumutukoy din ito sa situation ng buhay. Like yung mga FW, mahirap sila na pumunta sa ibang bansa. Kumita sila ng malaki, uwi sila dito para maranasan yung Global North. Okay? Ganon din naman sa Global North. Like sa US, hindi naman lahat ng nasa US kapag galing dun, ibig sabihin ba mayaman na? Siyempre, meron ding hindi. May mga below poverty line din. Na, di ba, may mga namamalimos din, may mga konti lang kumita. Sa mga ganong situation, nararanasan din nila yung Global South. Are you getting my point? Hindi porket nasa mayaman kang bansa o mahirap kang bansa, hindi mo na mararanasan yung kayamanan o yung kahirapan. Nakuha nyo?
Yes, ma'am.
So, doon natin maipapasok yung, thank you, doon natin maipapasok yung Global North and Global South. So, ito yung ating map. Yung rich North or yung Global North and the poor South or Global South. Ayan, dito na. Yung sa taas, ito yung sa baba. O, yung mga nasa Global North or sa rich North, and then yung US, UK, Japan, France, Spain, di ba? Belgium, Israel, South Africa, Norway, Italy, and Sweden. Marami pa yan. Di ba? Sa poor South naman, dyan yung India, Indonesia, Philippines, kasama tayo dyan, China, di ba? Nawala tayong picture. Mexico, Africa, or rest, some part of Africa, and more. Yan yung tinatawag nating rich north and poor south. Pero sabi ko nga, hindi porkit nasa rich north ka, hindi mo na mararanasan yung global south. And even though you are under the poor south, you can also experience what the global north experience. By now, one can say that the terms global south and third world are conceptually the same. They both refer to conditions usually found in developing countries. Now, when we say third world, it is the antecedent of global south. So before yung global south, meron na yung tinatawag na third world. Recent na lang tong natawag na global south. There are capitalist economies that we considered as first world. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng capitalist? Or capitalism? Karen?
Ma'am, yun parang leading, kunwari sa Philippines, yun yung leading places kung saan mas malaki yung taas ng economic growth nila. Parang yun yung, nandun yung central, for example sa atin, sa Manila, nandun din yung Malacanang, mga ganun.
Okay. Mataas yung economic growth. Ito yung mga economy na pinapaandar ng mga private owners and private companies. Yun yung tinatawag na first world. Pag sinabi naman nating second world, ito yung mga socialist economies. Ano ba yung socialist economies? Ano yung socialist or socialism? Christine Joy Gakan. Christine? Yung capitalist, ito yung mga pinapaandar yung ekonomiya ng mga private owners and companies. How about socialist? Sino bang nagpapalakad? Sinong nagkukontrol?
Ma'am, sa akin po yung socialist economies po. Yun po yung mga nagpapatakbo ng mga yung mga dapat tatakbuhin po na mga, yung parang sa mga capital po ng mga lugar or mga attractions po, ganun.
Okay, yung mga example nun ko na rin mga tourist attraction. Pero yung mga yon dapat, para mapabilang sa second world, dapat pinapatakbo siya ng government. Yun yung pagkakaiba ng capitalist and socialist. Capitalist, ang nagpapatakbo ay mga private owners and private companies. Halimbawa, ikaw ang nagpapatakbo nun kasi you are one of the private owners. Pag second world, hindi ikaw, hindi ako, kundi government ang nagpapatakbo. At kapag hindi siya kasama sa first world and second world, under siya ng third world. Halimbawa tayo, di ba, halo-halo. Hindi na, wala yung formal economies. Hindi lahat pinapatakbo ng private owner, hindi lahat pinapatakbo ng ating government. Doon tayo papasok, doon natin maipapasok yung third world. And example nga, tayo yon. Tayo na nasa Philippines, nasa third world tayo. And another example, yung India. Okay? The term third world was initially used to refer to the former colonies of European countries. To illustrate, India was considered a third world country, for it was a colony of the United Kingdom. According to this categorization, the Philippines was classified as third world. Kasama rin tayo, like India. Later, the category was used to refer to countries that were neither capitalist nor socialist. Wala doon. Since many countries were impoverished, the term was also used to refer to the poor world. Nasa, mga mahihirap na mga bansa. Yung mga developing countries pala. These countries were considered to be non-industrialized and duly industrialized. They lacked, or wala sila nito, or kulang sila sa standard system in banking, finance, and trade. Diba? Kahit naman i-compare nga natin yung bansa, diba? Malayo na mas updated or mas systematic ang Russia, ang US, diba? Ang China. To sum it up, we discussed the contemporary global governance, yung global governance to make the everything to be in order, diba? To be systematic, formulaic, in peace. We discussed also the UN, which one of the system in making the world organized or the countries organized. And we discussed the 6 organs, the General Assembly, Security Council, the Economic and Social Council, the Trusteeship Council, the International Court of Justice, and Secretariat. We also discussed the Sustainable Development Goals or tinatawag noon na Millennium Development Goals na goal niya is to maintain or to develop our economy and social and different issues like hunger, poverty, life underwater, equalities, and more. We also discussed challenges confronting the UN based on knowledge, norms, policy, institutions, and compliance. And also we discussed the division of the globe, which is the North and the South, or tinatawag nating the rich North and the poor South. These are our resources. Do you have questions? May matanong? Luneset, may tanong? Christine?
Wala po, ma'am.
Karen?
Wala po, ma'am.
Ronnie?
Wala po, ma'am.
Jo Marie? Hernan? Wala daw. Mahina kasi yung signal nila. Okay, if you don't have more question, this is our closing remarks. Kala mo ano naman. Okay, so this will be the end of our discussion. Thank you for listening and for your participation. Next week, Thursday, the same time, I'll be posting new learning material which you're going to study before you take the quiz. Kasi i-include ko siya sa quiz natin. Because all of the discussion for the whole midterm from week 1 to week 8 are all scopes of our examination on March 21 to 23. Okay. May mga tanong kayo tungkol, maliban dito sa topic natin. Kung yung mga items, ganun yung
Ma'am, Multiple choice po ba lahat? Sa exam.
Baka. Hindi pa ako nakakagawa, pinag-iisipan ko, pero 100 items, inisip ko multiple choice na lang para madaling i-check. Ay, yung mga nyo activities nyo, nag-check ako, pero sa sobrang dami nyo, na-check ko na yung sa isang subject sa art up or art appreciation. Pero yung iba, hindi pa. Sa ibang class, nagawa ko na rin. Na-check ko na rin. Okay, kung wala nang tanong, maliban doon kay Karen. Wala na. Okay, so this will be the end of our discussion. Goodbye, everyone, and have a great day ahead.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you po.
Thank you.